Welcome to Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine. I'm your host, Jill Jardine. In this episode, I will explain the significance of Pluto transiting into Aquarius, beginning on January 20th, 2024. Get ready for the long-term sojourn in the sign of the water bearer until 2044. Welcome to the episode on Pluto transiting Aquarius. It is part 2 of the planetary paradigm shift, which was initiated on March 23rd, 2023, when Pluto plunged into its initial Aquarian auric environment until June 11th, 2023, when he went back in Capricorn. But he's back. Pluto pulsation back into Aquarian airspace astrologically changes life as we know it. The last time Pluto transited Aquarius was from 1777 to 1798, which was the birth of America. Before Pluto becomes fully ensconced in Aquarian airspace, for the following 20 years, it will play ping pong back and forth between Aquarius and Capricorn until later in 2024. Here's the timing of Pluto's transit into Aquarius. The first phase already occurred when Pluto went into Aquarius from March 23rd, 2023 through June 11, 2023. It slipped back into Capricorn June 11, 2023 until January 2024. When it's back in Aquarius till September 2nd, 2024. So the first 9 months almost of 2024, we get the taste of Pluto in Aquarius. It only goes back into Capricorn for a few months from September through November 2024, when it will plutonically purge our world. And then from November 20th, 2024, through March 9, 2043, at which point it will weave in and out of Aquarius and Pisces, totally out of Aquarius in January 2044. So buckle up. We got a long, strange trip with Pluto transiting through the sign Aquarius. And why are there so many dates with Pluto going very much in and out of Aquarius and back to Capricorn? And then at the end of the transit, between Aquarius and Pisces? Well, in astrology, Pluto is very slow moving. It's the slowest moving planet. And with the retrograde, the backward movement, it only advances about 1 to 3 degrees per year, depending on the sign. So Pluto is back flirting in Aquarius until it is consistently in the sign of the water bearer, starting in late 2024. Pluto will spend up to 20 years in the sign Aquarius, so we have plenty of time to understand the energetic. As astrologers, we see this pivotal pending plutonic purging for the past years, speculating on what will show up in our world. We've seen it coming, and we're kind of wondering, how's this going to play out? Well, it's here, and we can expect major changes in the world's power dynamics. Pluto is leaving the building, Capricorn. And by leaving Capricorn, that marks the beginning of the end of one of the most intense planetary cycles of the last years, when Pluto was transiting Capricorn. So let's think back to what happened. It went into Capricorn back in 2008, and that kicked off an economic down cycle as it went in and brought the plutonian purging into the sign of business and economics. And then we had another down cycle while it was transiting through Capricorn in 2016 and again in 2022. Pluto in Capricorn delivered a world pandemic of COVID in 2020 and afterwards. That changed life as we know it, and there have been many other collective karmic challenges courtesy of Capricorn in Pluto from 2008 to 2024. But here comes the Aquarian Pluto transit. Aquarius is a sign of progress in the future. The last time Pluto passed through Aquarius was between 1777 and 1798. a revolutionary and transformative period of time that changed the way the world viewed power, governments, money, and society as a whole. With the end of Pluto in Capricorn and the dawning of the age of Aquarius just on the horizon, we astrologers agree that this transit will be just as revolutionary as the late 1700s, if not more. Pluto is the planet of transformation, and Aquarius is the sign of revolution. We better believe that once Pluto transits into Aquarius, life as we know it will be a thing of the past and our society will change forever. Pluto rules death, transformation, rebirth. And if a person is hit with a Pluto transit in their own chart, after the transit, they will emerge as a different person. People may even comment to them that they don't look the same. Perhaps they became ill, or they lost someone close, or took a financial loss or some other form of loss. Pluto purges us until we are back to the basics, and hopefully our ego is kicked to the curb. And that's what Pluto's point is. Get rid of the ego, whether it's the collective or personal ego. Pluto forces intense transformation, not a simple change in how we look or who we hang out with, but a significant shift in our souls. Pluto is the planet of death, transformation, and also rebirth. Pluto forces shedding our old identities and releasing perspectives that no longer serve to make space for something better. So can you imagine the whole world going through a Plutonian purging? That's what's going to start in January 2024. This is an impactful transit, and everyone will feel it. Aquarius, the sign, and Pluto, the planet, are both about regeneration, and their combined energies have incredible power to advance humanity on a global scale. The good news is that this will be a process and it will go in stages. It's not going to happen overnight. We have a good 20 years to watch this unfold around us. What we can expect in those 20 years are worldwide changes in science, technology, and space travel would not be surprising to see while Pluto's in Aquarius. I still think they need to take care of air travel and make it more seamless. There will be a rise in humanitarianism and focus on taking care of the group. The most powerful people in the new Pluto paradigm will be those who work together and who value the lives, feelings, and experiences of others. Governments and systems that have worked against each other in the past can find common ground during this transit to forge new alliances for the future. The day of the greedy megalomaniac is gone. They won't do well in the Pluto Aquarius energy. The theme is that we are all in this together, and it will be strong during Pluto's transit of Aquarius. We will also see the face of leadership change. Bye-bye Pluto and Capricorn oligarchs. Bye-bye Putin. Bye-bye Trump. Bye-bye Biden. No new world for old men. In fact, women will be in charge. God is back, and boy, is she pissed. But the truth is that historically, when Pluto has changed from Capricorn to Aquarius, women took over power. Here are some examples from history when Pluto goes into Aquarius and women replace men as leaders. Let's go back in time to when Pluto was in Aquarius from February 12, 1532 to December 12, 1553. The future Queen Elizabeth I was born on September 7, 1533, and ironically replaced King Henry VIII in the grand scheme of things and usurped his obsession with a male heir. The Church of England was born with Pluto in Aquarius in 1534 and would eventually admit women priests. So we got some good things to look forward to as far as who's going to be in charge. Some more history about Pluto transiting Aquarius. The last time Pluto was in the sign Aquarius was from 1777 to 1798. The United States was born on the 3rd of September, 1783. Britain signed the Treaty of Paris and gave independence to America, courtesy of Pluto in Aquarius. In 1777, the Second Continental Congress Agreement set up a firm league of friendship between the United States, and the whole idea of friendship, brotherhood, sisterhood was there with Aquarius. The U.S. Constitution was adopted on the 17th of September, 1787, and amended 27 times since then. So we might see it amended again. The other interesting thing that happened worldwide was that modern Australia was born on May 13th, 1787. During the cycle, the first fleet of settlers, including 778 convicts, left Britain for New South Wales, Australia. And that's the beginning of another nation like America that was invented or began during Pluto and Aquarius. And another historical event that was big with liberty, equality, and fraternity for all, the rallying cry of the French Revolution of 1789, also occurring with Pluto and Aquarius. The storming of the Bastille on the 14th of July, 1789, was a Pluto and Aquarius event. Freedom, liberty, fraternity, all Aquarian keynotes, and equality. We had a lot of powerful international events and births occur when Pluto was transiting through Aquarius some 240 years ago. So we have a lot to look forward to in this next cycle. And when we look at the planet Pluto, when it goes through our personal lives, if you are in an early degree of a fixed sign, such as early degree Aquarius, Sun, Taurus, Leo, or Scorpio, Pluto will affect your natal sun. So that means if you're a January Aquarian, an April Taurian, a July Leo, or an October Scorpio, Pluto will purge you in the next few years and do what he does best to transform your view of yourself and your place in the world. Pluto in Aquarius will have you die to be reborn as something better. The transit of Pluto through Aquarius is about the transformation of ideals. When Pluto goes forward in Aquarius, it will continue to unfold a new era, transforming negativity or toxicity in the realm of politics, humanitarianism, social justice, science, technology, social media, and the internet. We're going to be coming up against freedom and freedom of speech and where people might try to be limited or restricted. Thus, the revolutionary energies can pop. So it all has to do with power and control versus freedom. When Pluto transited through Capricorn, it revealed Capricorn's shadowy themes of power and control. And so as Pluto transits through Aquarius, we'll see the dark side of Aquarius, which are problems around emotional detachment or rebellion, or futuristic, such as artificial intelligence, the shadow side of Pluto and Aquarius, and the immersion into technology even more. Our society has become too comfortable too fast with having technology take over our lives. Yeah, it was convenient at first. Now it's downright invasive and creepy. Like when you talk about the new car you like to get and the ads just start showing up for it on Facebook. We might as well figure that all our devices are small spy bots, whether you like it or not. And Alexa, who knows what that creep is doing in your house, observing and listening to your every move, ready to recapture every detail to whoever unloads her data bank. So some of the shadow sign with Pluto and Aquarius might be AI, artificial intelligence, the over-immersion in technology taking over our lives, and the detachment of people from what's really going on in front of them, as well as the over-humanitarianism, helping out some of the population and not the rest, and creating some inequities. So Pluto will be in Aquarius for 20 years. The last time Pluto was in Aquarius was during a period of massive change all over the world. And after dealing with the authoritative and restrictive reach of Pluto in Capricorn, this change couldn't come fast enough. Pluto represents themes surrounding destruction, death, and rebirth, while Aquarius represents revolution, rebellion, and reshaping humanity. Pluto's role is to keep the engine of the universe going by eliminating what no longer can sustain life. If something is rotten, Pluto will eliminate it and leave space for healthy growth. Pluto in Aquarius spends its time shaking up our preconceived notions and beliefs about society, technology, social media, and more. And you can expect things to become more tense when these transits ignite the flames of change and begin decentralization of existing power structures. And there's going to be some transits during Pluto and Aquarius when other key planets will move through the sign Aries. In 2025 to 2028, Saturn will go into Aries, and then Neptune will transit Aries from 2025 to 2039. The situation with Aries is that it's a sign of passion and aggression. So this could really turn up the heat and have people vying for what they think is right. Pluto in Aquarius symbolizes the end of the process that Pluto in Capricorn began, with conversations around social justice, environmental change, and more brewing in the air. Pluto in Aquarius will act as the final push toward big change. Welcome to 2024. This is Jill Jardine, host of Cosmic Scene, international astrologer. Hey, go to my website, jilljardineastrology.com, to my shop page and book a reading so that you can find out what the stars have in store in 2024 for you personally. Welcome to the part of the episode when I share my predictions for Pluto transiting through Aquarius. Aquarius is an air sign, so let's hope it will improve air travel. Let's forget about Elon Musk and space travel for now. Let's just fix planes and make traveling across the country and the world more efficient. Let's also improve cars and make them much more efficient. Get rid of outdated systems. Make them more efficient with gas or even other sources of fuel. Speaking of air travel, let's make that futuristic air travel vision come true, like we used to watch in the 1960s and 1970s on TV. But modernize it for 2024 and beyond, and let's start flying around the world. It would be cool if Pluto and Aquarius could make some new futurist planes that get there much faster and with minimal waiting time on board. And fix the airports too, and the process of boarding and deboarding from planes. Our societies are evolved enough to make this seamless, so let's start now. Airplanes, airports, air, all important during Aquarius. And let's get those cool futuristic cars, like streamlined Batmobiles that run not only on gas, but on environmentally friendly substances. And the charging stations to fill up are easy to access. Don't make them AI cars. People still need to be awake behind the wheel, enjoy the freedom of driving themselves somewhere. And space travel, it's going to happen. I think we need to get the air travel and airplanes perfected and then look at putting civilians in space. We also may see some new breakthroughs in things like community gardens or community farms, where neighbors can share vegetables, herbs, marijuana, and whatever else is being grown in the community green spots. People can take turns cultivating and growing the foods and goods for their community. There will be a focus coming back to healthy, organic, homegrown, local food. There might even be some experimental gardening like the Findhorn Project, which occurred in Scotland during the late 1960s and through the 1970s, where a community of hippie-like people took a barren stretch of land in Scotland and turned it into an abundant and fecund gardens, which became known as the community as Findhorn, and it still exists today. Also, there could be some cool community living places, especially for older people, where they live together in like minded communities. Unlike the traditional senior living houses or communities, these senior older people places will be green, they'll have gardens, they can share in growing the food and smoking the marijuana together in common areas. The senior living spaces can also have recreational areas, dining areas, indoors and outdoors, interface with nature, and offer yoga and holistic health interventions for residents. The baby boomers are aging and they won't go silently into the dark night. They want all their bells and whistles. They want those holistic healers on hand in their senior living places and all kinds of benefits. Speaking of older people, aging will be fun with Pluto in Aquarius because Pluto rules death, transformation, rebirth, and Aquarius is the sign of the future. And the focus will be on keeping vital and alert, both in mind, body, and spirit, with all kinds of regenerative therapies. Pluto rules regeneration, and Aquarius rules the mind. The theme of regeneration and keeping the mind sharp will be important throughout all age groups to counter the invasiveness of tech and unhealthy nutrition. I'm pretty sure there'll be a big shift in the educational systems. Aquarius is futuristic and loves education, especially that which will fulfill future needs in generations. So the educational systems, all levels, including university, will undergo a major reformation in order to meet the needs of our impending future societies. These kids will have to get their earbuds off and start paying attention to nature and their surroundings. Get out of that tech landscape and walk on the earth. Teaching about nature and earth consciousness will become part of the curriculum like it was in the 1970s. The other area where we will see big advances, of course, is medical. So many new medical technologies and devices will be invented and come into application in hospitals and clinics. They will be time-saving and also be able to detect disease earlier and treat it earlier on. I'm sure some cures to cancer will be found, but Big Pharma will probably still be in charge. And Big Pharma, we have to watch out because a lot of people aren't responding now to things like antibiotics and other interventions. And we know Big Pharma will be driving that vaccine train much faster, trying to vaccine the hell out of everything. We could also see a true Aquarian uprising where people stand up to take their own health back. Don't put baby in a corner and don't give them a jab of something without giving them what's in it. Alternative healing devices and technologies will become more abundant, such as Rife machines, far infrared technologies, all of which currently exist, and more. Also, we will see a revolution in the economic and financial markets. The day of cryptocurrency has arrived as it begins to infiltrate the mainstream. I'm not saying other currencies will disappear, but crypto will come of age and have a place in society among the big boys. So get ready. There's a lot to look forward to as our society regenerates and changes and morphs into the future. Pluto in Aquarius. I hope you enjoyed this episode on Pluto's transit through Aquarius. Make sure you subscribe, download, share, and give us a 5-star review. This is Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine, launching into Aquarian airspace and the quantum field. Stop.